Hey everybody, it is Tim Miner, and I am really excited about this batch of the Biscuit Blitz. I'm not entirely sure how this gentleman and I are going to get everything we want to say to each other in 5 minutes, but I'm willing to give it a go. Brian Young of the Dunstan Group, introduce yourself. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much, Tim. My name is Brian Young. I'm with the Dunstan Group. I've been in Charlotte since 2010. I am a transplant from Atlanta, and I will never go back to Atlanta. Charlotte is my
We're not
home.
letting you go back. You're
Not going back. Not going back. I love this place. I have a beautiful wife. I have one son that's 2 years old. I have another one on the way. But I run our business development for the Dunstan Group. We are a branded merchandise and apparel company that's been around for 12 years, locally here in Charlotte, owned here in Charlotte, and really pride ourselves in providing the best service possible for the brands and the community that we work with here in Charlotte. In addition to being that platform for your logo, we also have a Brand Builders podcast that we started 2.5 years ago. We actually dropped our 141st episode today. And it's been amazing to be able to share the stories of this community, both from the nonprofit side, the private sector. There's amazing people in this community. And that's really what I love about not only my job, but being able to co-host the podcast as well. And I'm just happy to be here and to talk to you, my man.
Man, it is good to see you. I've thought about you because there's so many people that are either introverted, extroverted. You are extroverted in all caps. You love meeting people. You're constantly talking to people. So how have you kept your spirits up in this time? Because you my man, I'm sure are having problems with this, or challenges at least.
It's been a challenge. And I think that's an interesting question because it's a challenge for everyone. I'm at home here with a wife who's 32 weeks pregnant. I have a 2-year-old. So it's been a very interesting challenge from this standpoint, but I also take it as a blessing. I've gotten to spend more time, with my immediate family and with my son. But I think a communication standpoint, although we don't get to see people in person, we've really just tried to transition that into either phone calls, Zoom meetings. What can we do to stay in touch? And honestly, we've kind of gone old school and started to send a lot of handwritten letters, and those have gone over very well as well. So I think it's not necessarily about having to be directly connected to somebody in a conversation or in a physical meeting space. These platforms have been amazing to open up that. So I just enjoy talking to people all the time and just learning their stories, because there's always something you can learn from every conversation you have. You just have to listen.
Yeah. Well, so one of the things about the conversations you have, I've marveled at kind of the incredible growth of the Brand Builders podcast. Someday we're going to have to get into the stories you talked to me about starting it out, not knowing if anybody was listening and just keeping going. And then I tell myself that every day that I'm going to hit that moment where it just skyrockets. Right. But through this, what I love is you've leaned in, you've continued to do podcasts every week. And you're talking to people who are the creators, the originators, the imagineers of their brands. But this seems to be a kind of a character revealing time for brands. What do you see people doing well, and what do you see people stumbling with their brands in the time of COVID?
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's going to be case studies on, this event for the rest of our lives. And I think there's a lot of things that brands can learn from during this time. But you have to think about this. Your brand is going to be judged on how you reacted during this time. Was it a positive reaction or was it a negative reaction? Were you doing something different that you could positively support the community, or were you not? So my biggest advice to brands right now is you have to be authentic, but you have to be out there. You need to be having conversations with not only your clients, your employees, new people. Get involved with great events like Creative Mornings and meet people that you've never met before. You can do that virtually, but honestly, it all comes down to serving. And I think that's the big key that we've really tried to not only implement for 12 years at the Dunstan Group, but right now it's really important. How can I serve you? When you have conversations with people, it's not being desperate. It's not trying to be like, oh, our business is struggling, we need sales. It really needs to be from the heart. And if you're intentional with that message and you truly mean that when you ask somebody, how can I help you? How can I serve you? It's going to pay off huge for your brand in the future. But honestly, that's what our community is all about. And I've had an amazing time having conversations with people and their responses on how can I serve you? Because everybody's going through something, and it might be something so simple that you can help them out with. Maybe it's just sharing a post. Maybe it's liking a post. Maybe it's just connecting the dots with somebody that can help them. it doesn't all have to be transaction driven. And that's my main advice is how can you serve others, be authentic, be intentional. And the bottom line is you have to stay in touch.
You and I are so aligned on that, and Matt Olin and everything we do at Charlotte is Creative. I think what you just described is the way that it should be, even when times are good. When it's a bull market, you build yourself by building others, and that's one thing I've really admired and enjoyed getting to know you about. So kudos to you. All right, we've already blown this out, but we've got a few seconds. When you can get out and take your lovely wife to celebrate the birth of your new child to a restaurant where you can sit down and have someone serve you, where are you going to go?
Yeah, well, first, before we jump into that quickly, I will tell you this. If you're out there, our goal of the Dunston Group is to support you, make you and your employees feel safe, whether that's face mask, whether that's cool little devices like this. Contact us because that's going to be the biggest challenge. But I will tell you this. When I'm allowed to go to a restaurant, I will be going to Mama Ricotta's. I will be ordering the goat cheese appetizer, the Caesar salad, and the chicken parm. And I love Frank and Remy over there, an amazing organization. And I honestly cannot wait to go in there and just eat it all up. So that will be my answer is Mama Ricotta's.
If I know Remy, he's already got it fired up and on its way to you right now, as a reminder for the next time.
We have done some to-go food with them, but I'm the type of person that loves the whole environment. You know what I mean? I just want to go in there and, hey, I like to be served on when I'm in a restaurant, and they do an amazing job.
It's a Charlotte classic. I mean, all right. So both of us had hats on. I'm wearing a hat because it's like Friday. I don't have formal meetings, and I definitely have COVID hair going on. What you got going on underneath that hat?
So I do have a little bit of COVID hair. I will say the hat does wonders during this, and I did just shave my beard. My beard had gotten way too Corona bearded out. So
are we talking Duck Dynasty levels or?
It was pretty thick, man. I combed it out and I had a square, and my wife just looked at me like, you're never getting another kiss. So
thank you for copping to that, because you were setting it up as you made that decision, and I knew it really was not.
Hey, happy wife, happy life. And
all right, man. Great talking to you. Take care.
Appreciate it, Tim. Thank you.
See you soon.